leave our eyes out of this. We do not need retinal scans. Thank you.
All right, guys, we are finally live after some technical difficulties. Hey, Charity Champs, how you doing? We are live, and welcome to Saturday's DJ and Green Stream. I am your host, Kai, the Nightmare Ruler, and we have two beautiful guests with us. We have the greatest, mightiest, dirtiest orc overlord on Earth, the Orcosaurus. What? You're not gonna say anything, Orc?
Hello.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna say something. Just chill for a second, okay? I'm an old orc. I need time. Okay? Not as fast as it used to be anymore, okay? I got problems getting the battle axe up.
Oh, well, there's a pill for that.
Then.
There's a pill for that.
Nah, I just see the shaman. He can do it without the pill. You know?
No. And then we have Bueller, everyone's favorite TFG1 Mike, who usually comes on Wednesday's Dragon Lair, who's also given me the finger, which he's got a pain on his forehead.
If I can't curse, I might as well give you the finger.
Yeah. I mean, we're trying to keep this PG, you know, because no, we don't. Who the hell are we kidding? Who the hell are we kidding? So, yeah, we have interesting lineup today. We're going to talk about on a whole bunch of subjects, and yeah, it's so first of all, I've got a video coming out soon. I was outside about 40 minutes doing a video. Behind the Dragon is what it's called, and it's about me, what my goals are, and what I do. I'm probably going to start doing maybe once a week Behind the Dragon. It's like behind the scenes, just kind of talking about things. I don't know. Some people say, well, is that going to fit on a gaming channel? I'm like, it's not just a gaming channel. It's entertainment too, but it centers around a lot of games and stuff. But like today, we do talk shows. We talk about stuff. We talk about issues. We talk about everything. We talk about products. We talk about bullshit. We talk about everything. Don't mess with us. Anyway. So,
But I told you the other night, it's Kai Dragon Media. Media is everything. It could mean anything.
Yeah.
Audio, visual, gaming, cartoons, music, movies.
Just like Kai
TV
Dragon
shows,
Gardening Cooking,
whatever.
it features cooking and gardening. Which, you know,
cooking and gardening.
once I get the money set up to do this online magazine, there will be a section for gardening and cooking, a section for gaming, a section for all that. You know, it'll be cool to have some writers for that once that happens. But right now, it's just... Well, I know I'll have some writers, but I've had some volunteers for it, but I just, but I got to get the money to do that. So I know Mike's eager to write for it.
Oh no.
I bet we could get Earth's Dirtiest Orc Overlord in on this too.
Oh, wow. That would be the dirtiest writing you've probably ever read since the 90s with Harlequin romance novels.
Have you? Have you watched his YouTube channel at all, Mike? It's all sorts of furries and furry body pillows and stuff. I mean, how G-Gen can you get?
I mean, really, what we should do is actually we should read the Lusty Agorian Housemaid live on stream. Mike is like, why did I come here?
Oh God!
I'm gonna be the Lusty Agorian housemaid. Mike is the narrator, and Kai is the sexy.
Yeah. Oh God.
Hero.
Oh God. Yeah, I remember those.
This is what's happening in the laundry room.
Yep. Oh man, that one is a funny comic.
Unfortunately, Steve Megatron has too many scruples, but he would be a better narrator than I would.
Yeah, I don't know if he could handle the D-Gen part of this.
No.
D-Gen for degenerates.
No. Uh-huh.
That's why we have this.
The whole day today when we were planning up to get this, and even during the technical difficulties, can I talk? Technical difficulties that we suffered earlier, the whole thought was, fuck it.
Yeah,
from DJX,
sometimes it gets that way.
from
It's
WWE.
it's interesting. I mean, we're all yucking around right now, so yuck. Yuck, yuck. So I have me some Guatemalan coffee right now. It's from Farmer's Market, and I added a local dairy. It's the milk kind of tastes a little sweet for 2%. I don't know what it is, but it's a local dairy, and they don't do anything with it, sugar or anything. So mix that up a little bit with it, and it's a nice cold coffee. And I'll probably down this, and I'll be bouncing off walls for tonight for Zomboid.
That's what I said like 20 minutes ago when I said that to Orc. I said, "Oh my God, he's drinking coffee at 7 p.m. He's gonna be bouncing off the walls later."
And I was like, dude, I could drink coffee now and probably sleep very good.
Yeah,
because I'm constantly on caffeine.
Yeah, me too. I fell off.
So weird.
I fell off caffeine for about 6 months. I was trying to get off that to get my blood pressure, which they still never got that entirely under control. But I'm doing better. But I can't do mornings. I just hate mornings. I mean, I am. If I was a full-time creator and that's all I had to do, and that's how I made my money, and it wasn't working 2-3 jobs, all that crap, my schedule would be something like I get up about 10:30 in the morning, or go to bed about 10:30 in the morning, just depends on, or wherever. But I have 2 different schedules that I would do. It's either I get up by 10:30, go out, work in the garden for about 2-3 hours, go to the gym, work out for a couple hours, come back, sit down, do some editing, and do some research for talk shows, because I'd have a talk show every night too, on top of the other thing. And then I would do my live streams in the evening, and then by 1 or 2 in the morning I'd go to bed, get up at 10 o'clock in the morning, rinse, repeat. Or the other way, because summer gets 100 degrees. This is the worst one, but go to bed at 9 in the morning or 10 in the morning, and then get up about 5 or 6. That one's the harder one, but if you're gonna do gardening and it's 100 degrees, you're better off doing it at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning when it's not brutally hot.
It's before dawn and just before or right after dusk is the best times.
Yeah, so I mean, either way it would work. It's just, how do I really want to do that? I mean, not that I really do anything in the afternoons anyway, other than burn up.
Yeah, that's not good.
So, the first topic we're going to talk about tonight, and yes, today's topic is the dragon woke up on the wrong side of bed and chose violence. We can't say violence probably on YouTube. Maybe we can. Who the hell knows anymore? YouTube changes their guidelines all the damn time. I don't know. I woke up and chose violence. It's like, I see all these idiots posting stupid stuff, and then they're like crying about it 5 minutes later. So basically, we were talking about a topic last night, and we're gonna go ahead and pull this up for you guys. It's about Black Myth Wukong. It's a game that just came out, and
no, it's still coming out.
Oh, is it not fully out now?
August 20th.
Okay, so this was reviewers already getting their advanced copies, the so-called game journalists. Not that. So Screen Rant gave it a 3 out of 5. And they said combat is fluid and fun. Cinematography can be breathtaking at times. Great diversity in items and mechanics. And then they listed cons. And this is game performance is unpolished, which is very vague. Lacking inclusivity and diversity. And gameplay becomes repetitive. And they gave it a 3 out of 5. So when I read that, I was like, so you're taking points away because it lacks diversity and inclusivity, and I'm like, the whole thing is about Chinese mythology, about the Monkey King. What? And my brain started hurting, and then I saw later that apparently after people called up Screen Rant, the editor put a note that says the author's name has been removed for their safety, and I was just like,
I mean, I'm gonna be honest here. Like, if
I'm just like,
if
I'm like,
you
what?
if you want to like subtract points for like not enough diversity, go ahead, like do that. And also, people shouldn't harass.
No, nobody should
people
harass
like
anybody. I just don't take them serious.
And yeah, but
No
like,
credibility.
I mean, if you say a game lacks diversity and that's bad for you, okay, I will obviously accept that opinion, but I will not respect it, and I will certainly not listen to you.
No, I won't either. I'm like, and see, when I come up with the idea, if we were doing magazine all out right now and getting pre-release copies of this stuff, we wouldn't have that. I want to know, is the game fun? How is the mechanics of it? How's the controls of it?
Mm-hmm.
Does it play well? Does it leave you feeling fulfilled? Is it a short game? Is it a long game? Is it worth the money that they're going to charge you? Is it worth the $80 or whatever the game is? And why is it worth it? And then grade that on that 5 or 10 star rating. Not if you're worried about politics and something that is centered around Chinese mythology.
Like, yeah, they didn't have diversity and inclusivity back then.
I'm like, this is the whole reason why we got in this whole nightmare we've got with Assassin's Creed Shadows, where, you know, you've got Japanese ministries investigating Ubisoft now and stuff, because they literally insulted the entire Japanese culture. And I'm like, why? Why do you guys do this? And I'm like, and then, you know, I saw that the developer, and this has fallen up on one of, this was Ubisoft, one of the developers that worked on it said that they wanted to be as authentic as possible with it, from the culture, the houses, the food, everything. But yet they claim they had some historian really truly had all the information correct. But what I find funny about it is they didn't find it any historically correct in Japan.
Jeez.
I mean, there was a lot of scholars in Japan that said, we don't know where the hell you came up with your information, but this is wrong. And that's why you've got Japanese government now and everything involved in this, because they're like, you should have been, you're insulting all of us. I could see Ubisoft getting banned in Japan, but
yeah, probably
for never being able to sell again in Japan, which is a major gaming hub that you want to sell games to. And it's like,
exactly.
I was like, so when I see that stuff like that, it's like,
so,
go ahead, Orc.
I'm gonna be honest here. I do think that Ubisoft itself will probably not get banned from Japan, rather the game. And I also think even if they claim otherwise, I think the Japanese audience was never their target audience with
no, I don't think it was. I think it was, they were a subsidiary. They were trying to sell it to Western gamers, United States, Europe, things like that. I think that's what they were trying to strive for. But, you know, it's still, we talk, you know, a lot of them talk about respecting cultures. This is a situation that you need to respect cultures, especially as a game journalist and stuff. You have to understand what you're playing, what the thing about it. So, you know, in Black Myth, Wukong has already had its already massive things. In fact, there was another article that somebody linked to me that the devs there refused to work with Sweet Baby Inc., which you see that, and I'm not going to cover it, but they basically told them pay us $7 million or we'll try to stick the news outlet on your games, and they told them go pound sand.
Yeah,
it's like that's the problem with the gaming market, and this is all leading up stuff. So Ubisoft's laying off more people. There was an article on GameSpot that I'd read that basically said, well, more jobs are being cut at Ubisoft because sales are down, just like their Star Wars Outlaw game is not really doing too hot. So
isn't that coming out next week too?
we think
we
don't
Star Wars
know.
Outlaws, but everybody, a lot of people I know are boycotting it. So I don't know why. There's a lot of things. I think part of it is because they're like charging $120 for the damn game if you want the season pass, and that gives you access to Jabba's quest missions, which is part of the same problem with these games today. You don't pay for a base game anymore. It's, you're going to pay for a base game plus all this extra stuff. It used to be, I remember when gaming was more relevant back in the day, it was, hey, I'm going to go buy this game. It's going to be a complete package. Play the whole game. It's 50, 60 hours worth of content. Had a great time with it. The game was not as severely buggy. If there's some quick hot fixes on it. Not a big deal. A lot of times there wasn't because it was a cartridge, so you better have it all finalized. It was a complete game, and hey, 6 months later, we're going to release a DLC or an expansion pack that's going to have another 20, 30 hours of content for nominal fee. I think of StarCraft Brood Wars, StarCraft 1 or 2, where they had 3 different, they had the first part and they had the other 2. I think when you look at the whole picture, a lot of these game companies now are trying to suck the money out of the consumer to the point the consumer's getting tired of it. And
so yeah, I agree. Let's go back 14 years, guys. Okay, 14 years ago in 2010, you could go to a GameStop or a Best Buy or whatever. I don't know what the equivalent would be in Germany, but you could go to a brick and mortar store. You could eat, let's just say, somewhere between $39.99 and $59.99 USD. You could buy a complete game. Or if you wanted extras, not DLC extras, but like actual physical extras, gamer editions of games were a thing. You spent the $100 back then to get like a replica of the Matrix of Leadership or a sword or something. Like, you got something more.
Yeah.
Now, spending $100 on a game that's digital through Steam just because that's what they want to charge, and they're not even giving you the full game? Get the out of here.
Yeah, it's insane.
I understand if you to make a game, put the game out, charge, like I said, let's just say for argument's sake, $60.
Yeah.
That should be the full game, the full game story. If it's a story like Mario 77 or Mario 85 or whatever, next year is the 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt and Nintendo Entertainment System. Holy crap. If they wanted
I've been
to
gaming for 40 years. I have been gaming for 40 years as of next year.
Yay! Me too. Well, technically longer because I started with the Ataris, but anyway, that's beside the point.
Oh, well, I didn't start with Ataris. Nintendo was the first one. Legend of Zelda and Super Mario. That was the first ones that got me into it.
Very cool, very cool. But like, you could buy... There's a huge difference in selling a game for $60 and the game not being complete, and then them wanting to charge you extra for a more complete game. And the difference here is buying a game for $60 and then they say, hey, if you want this super special thing, microtransaction this amount, microtransaction that amount, But that's a choice on you if you want that super special thing. You still spent your $60 on a full game. But the fact that game companies are charging whatever they're charging for not full games, and we've talked about this before on this show, on the Wednesday show, on all of it, don't do that. Make your game, if you're going to have, like, I don't know about Crusader Kings 3 or Soul Mask or any of these other ones, but let's just say story-based games in general. Need for Speed, Grand Theft Auto, whatever it is. Have everything in that base price, and then anything extra after that is an incentive to keep coming back and playing it.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. So, Orc, do you got any comments on this?
I mean,
You're about the same age as us, Orc. So, I mean, you're just a few years off. I mean, you'll get there soon. I'm
gonna be a mage, or what did you say, mages? Right. This year essentially, and I've been also gaming for like 3 decades at this point, like longer than 3 decades. I think the biggest thing that we see or have seen is a shift in like culture in gaming and how we treat certain things. Like we have this pre-order culture that they incessantly pushed on us. I'm not free from it either. Like I pre-ordered actually a game this week, and I saw like, can you imagine how? But there's one thing that Mike said that really pissed me off about that game. Like there's 2 versions of it. You have no. You were absolutely right. It just pissed me off personally about the game. You have 2 versions of it. You have a digital deluxe edition for €80. And you have like the normal game for €60. Guess what the fucking digital deluxe edition comes with? You like it's €20 more. 20 fucking euros. It's like, I don't know, a blowjob from a hooker somewhere, And what do you get? You get the fucking soundtrack. You get the stupid soundtrack. You get like a stupid in-game item, and then you get. This is the best part. You get a fucking day earlier access to it. A full fucking day. Like, what the fuck? I can go with that €20 somewhere and probably get a better time, like getting drunk or something.
Yeah, for $20, you could go to Ubisoft's red light district.
What the fuck, man? Are you fucking crazy? Like, at least give me 3 days early or something. A day early? Yeah. Like, how stingy are you with these fucking days?
I don't know. It's stupid. The whole concept with this gaming industry is stupid. And yeah, I mean, even Final Fantasy. I love Final Fantasy. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, oh hey, we're gonna if you buy the game, you get it like 5 days early. That's a better deal. They don't mark it up though either. It's a never-ending thing, and I'm fine with that. But then you look at these games like Star Slime or Star Wars Outlaws or Assassin's Creed. It's like, hey, you spend all this extra money, you get 1 day early. Or 2 days early if it's like Star Slime, which, yeah, it's like Ramcro said, 1 whole day early to test for bugs and you pay for it. Yeah. I mean, Microsoft. They followed the Microsoft model, guys. I mean, remember, Microsoft, when they would release Windows, you were the beta tester. You were their Q&A team. They just fixed the problems when you reported it. And all these Western gaming companies have basically taken on the Microsoft model when it comes to handling Windows. It's like, you are the beta tester. We don't have a Q&A team anymore. We don't do any of that stuff anymore. It's all the consumers. So congratulations, each and every one of you that has an Ubisoft game. You are officially an Ubisoft employee. You should probably hit them up for some money if you're doing some Q&A testing. Just saying. Because it's a bunch of crap. The whole system is broken. And it started originally, in my opinion, with all the gotchas. EA with their Kinder eggs, and as they call it, the surprise mechanics, where you gamble for that LeBron basketball, or you gamble for that Mahomes football player card, or whatever, for you're playing Madden 26 or whatever. Who knows anymore? Madden 2026. So it's stupid that we've gotten to this part. I remember that 2K, what was it?
Did you just say
2K? Yes. Shut up. Shut up.
Oh God! No, you didn't just do that.
Yes, I said 2K.
God.
But yes, I know. Yes. I know which I said. Yeah, but yeah. Well, are you gonna live, Mike? Are you gonna live? Yes, I know what I said. Damn it, I slipped. Mike needs a medic. Man down. So
Mike, come back to us. Come on.
2K Games did their NBA package game, where it was literally, they showed slot machines for getting these other pachinko machines and stuff that they had in there to try to win these NBA players, but you had to pay cash to get the currency to play it. And they had all these influencers on YouTube going, yeah, oh my God, yeah. And I'm like, so where's the law on that? Because you're encouraging gambling? And yes, Ivan is right. Belgian court case, loot boxes is a surprise mechanic. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Mike, are you gonna be okay?
No, but okay? I'm trying over here. I'm trying.
Yeah. I broke him, Chaos. I guess I completely broke him. So let me see. I got something for him.
You serious?
Thank you, JK.
So
Thank you.
Anyway,
JK.
yes. So 2K Games did that, and by the way, their Borderlands movie completely failed. So that was something interesting. But all this leads up to, there was Dexter article earlier this week where they were talking about this influencer, which I guess all he plays is Valorant. And what else did you say he played? Orc? That you saw?
Nate Shot.
Yeah.
He basically, Nate Shot only plays Valorant, Call of Duty, and Apex.
So
and like the big shooters, and of course he's going to cry about this.
Yeah.
Because it's his entire livelihood. I don't think the points he made were all too egregious, but like a few things he made in that video. That video is on Twitter, by the way. Dexerto did post it.
Yeah.
And just for context, he did basically say that people are rooting. He didn't say specifically the AAA industry, but he says people are rooting for games to fail. Like, it's gotten very toxic, and people are rooting for games to just come out in a bad state or just to flat out fail. I disagree with that to like 80%. I think there is a small subset of people who genuinely want games to fail. I would be one of them, especially if it's a live service game. I want all of them to fail because I want live services to be gone forever.
I think live services are detrimental
on video games, and they need to go away.
Yeah,
but that's me. Okay. If anyone likes live services, you're still valid, and I still love you.
Aww, that's adorable.
Important.
But it's wrong.
Exactly. Important side note here. I think that while there's like 20% like me who genuinely want who want games to fail, I think about 80% of the people are more, how do I say, jaded, and are like just burned from the industry and everything that happened. Because gamers, especially in the AAA space, have nothing but eaten shit in the past 5 years. There's a lot of bad launches, a lot of bad games, a lot of broken promises. Just look at Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. How that turned out.
The Suicide Squad one, yeah.
If you,
Rocksteady never recovered.
Imagine you pre-ordered this game. There's only two options how to feel after it. Either you get instantly Stockholm Syndrome and think it's a great game, yeah, and just don't want to look at it at a deeper level, or you feel scammed.
Well, and Zolas makes a good point. No consumer protection at all. And that's the big thing. There is no consumer protection. Nate Shot, in my opinion, is not correct. Gamers, consumers do not want these game companies to fail. They want the game companies, the CEOs, all of them, to get their head out of their proverbial ass and do the right thing. And that's the problem. And these AAA companies do not want to do the right thing. They want to continue to go the course that they are doing. It's like being the captain of the Titanic and just saying, we can go right through that iceberg. We can go right through that iceberg. And in my opinion, that's what these AAA companies are doing. I don't think there's anybody out there that just wants to see a company just implode and collapse. That's not the reason. But if you have bad service, bad products from a company, let's just say you go to a bread store. Let's just bread store. Every time you go to the bread store, you buy some bread. Within a day, it's all moldy. Are you going to go back to that bread store and keep spending money on it?
Yeah,
Obviously.
It's logic.
They gave me additional mushrooms to my bread. That's an additional service.
Well, that's one of these AAA gaming companies' mentality is that's extra. You got extra toppings. Oh, we're gonna mark up that bread now.
Do you know how much I want to slap Todd Howard for his sentence?
It just works.
It's the future, not a bug.
Oh no, I thought it was just it just works.
I know he was joking, but this shit like is so grating because they really stuck just the landing and rolled with it. They never look back.
This is why, I mean, I can come on here and I can give all kinds of opinions with you guys and everything else, but this is why I'm so happy that my sanity is safe back in 2006 with Grand Theft Auto 4.
I mean, Solus makes a good point. Steam dropped the hours of when you can return a game down to 2 hours. Such BS. Yes, when Arrowhead and Sony did their blunder with Helldivers, I tried to refund it. I had never even touched the game yet, and it was about a month, and then they started doing that. I was going to play with a bunch of people, and then they were all bailing after the Sony thing, so I said, you know what, I'm checking out. I couldn't get my refund. Never even touched it. And they said, oh, no refund. All sales final after 15 days. What? And it's like, Steam needed to have a new clause in there that if the developers do an absolutely completely bonehead stupid thing, that you should be able to, because there is no consumer protections on these games. Hell, you can't go take back. It got so bad at one point you can take CDs back to or Blu-rays back to Walmart, this place, because they said, oh, you opened the package. So regardless if the game worked or not, you were screwed. I know there were some games that came out that barely half-assed work. Do you turn them back? Sorry, all sales are final. So the gaming industry has had the least amount of protection for consumers, I think, in the longest time. And yeah, I heard about Fallout London. It does make Todd Howard's look really bad. And yeah, like Ivan says, 69 country of PSN, 174 Sony PSN. It's a bad business choice what Sony did to hell it. And they're trying to do it just to pad their numbers to make, hey, look at how many active Sony accounts we have. That's all it is.
They kind of went back on that with the registry, but what they did and what nobody's talking about it anymore, at least I think it still is the way, they still have the 174 countries locked out.
Yes,
that
they do.
Could earlier access it.
They did, and that was wrong. That was wrong too. I mean, once they rescinded that whole thing, they should have allowed these countries to be able to play the game again. And after that, it was game over. And you know, the studio themselves keep making bad, boneheaded practices at Arrowhead. I mean, look what they're doing now. They're trying to let Super Earth get conquered by the robots and bugs.
No, the fans are actually doing that. They tried to do it. Because
the fans are fed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the players have just said, you know what? Screw you. I'm not even going to do this anymore. We're just going to let Super Earth collapse. And I get that was a statement. And, you know, they came out and said, oh, well, we're going to try to fix this and do better. You guys had an opportunity to make this that game of the year. And, I mean, now, if you want to look at history, you're probably one of the greatest games of the year to completely fall flat on your ass and completely ruin it. And since Helldivers made PSN revert their changes, PSN made all their games need a PSN account now. Yeah, that's true, Zolas. So, I mean, when Nate Shot was saying that we want to see companies fail, no. We want them to get smarter. You know, the only way that they're going to improve is by losing money. That's the only way. If their sales are down or people, you know, pass on it, yes, that means people are going to probably lose their jobs. I get it. But that is the only way a consumer has the right to speak on something is your dollars. You're not going to go back to that bread store and keep buying moldy bread. That's the same thing. Oh. You're not going to go back to a restaurant and have the waiter keep dumping hot soup on your head. You're not going to go to those places and basically keep putting up with that abuse. If you do, well, maybe you're a masochist. But yeah, most people don't like being a masochist to these game companies that don't give a damn. They used to, but they got too big to fail in their mind, and that people will just be dumb and buy products. Look at how many people buy Madden every year or the next Battlefield, and it's the next big horse slop that they get shoved right in their face, and they eat it up for a little while, and they say, man, this sucks, and then they go back to their old stuff, or they go to the next thing. I mean,
hey, but I agree with what you're saying, and I'm only inserting this here because you mentioned Madden. Nicolas Cage is going to play John Madden in a biopic.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that in the biography of John Madden's life, Nicolas Cage. Who would have thought?
Like, what the hell?
Who would have thought? And that's the thing when you look at the whole thing as a whole, is it's just another average day of consumerism. Now let's hope that they don't cry too much in lobby, and then Big Daddy government comes in there and says, you're gonna have to buy that slop. But you know, I hope that never happens, because this is why, for the most part, I'm a big supporter of indie studios. I mean, yes, indie studios has its own curse. We have developers that are by themselves that can't sustain. We have developers that can't turn things around. We also have developers that make things successful. Think of Manor Lords. Manor Lords is a very successful, fun, medieval city builder with some war game. Greg is one person working on this, and he's been developing it. He's got a new update coming soon, which I can't wait to stream for you guys, that adds fishing to it. Valheim is another one that was successful. I know it kind of fell out because they just could not keep up. Valheim, they hit, I think it was like 3 million gamers in less than 6 months, and they just were overwhelmed. Yeah. So, but then you got games like Soul Mask, Fantastic game. They're lucky they're seeing 400,000 sales right now. But it's a fun game. And so they just are not well marketed. And it's disappointing, but that's where I like supporting as many indie games as can. Yes, there are some games I still play that are AAA companies, like Orcasaurus and I was showing him Nobunaga's Ambition. Yes, Koei Tecmo is a company that's been around for a long time, and there's some issues even with them. But yes, I still play that one. There's a few other games I play. And Spectre even points out No Man's Sky. That is a great Cinderella story. You screwed up royally at the start, and now you've made a massive gradual comeback. I mean, they're still releasing new expansions and not charging anybody. That's the weird thing. I'm like, at this point, shouldn't you guys be charging for some of these DLCs that you're doing, these updates? But no, they really want to redeem self, and hopefully their new game that they're working on, which is a multiverse Earth, will be just as good. And Ivan says, when people say Callisto Protocol is bad and not looking at Suicide Squad killing the Justice League, oh boy. Yeah, Anthem was another game that died due to the developers.
I'm gonna be honest, they are both bad, but both for very different reasons. Callisto Protocol really fails in terms of combat, and Suicide Squad is just a mess from back to and from
it's bad writing all the way through. I mean,
it's not just it's not just a bad writing. Like, Suicide Squad just fails from a design perspective completely. Like, why do all these supervillains that have different kits or use different powers, like all use guns, for example? When does Harley Quinn ever use a gun?
She's never used a gun.
She's known for baseball bats
or a mallet.
Another Captain Boomerang. Why is he using a gun and not his fucking boomerang? Like, what the fuck? What is even going on? Like, the only guy in this entire lineup who uses actual guns is fucking Deadshot. And then you have fucking King Shark. Why should he ever use a gun?
Like, a giant shark.
It makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
Like, this alone. And then you have, like, what? Like, I bring it up again. Like, play Guardians of the Galaxy. They made this, like, team thing really work. I know I talk about this all the time, but, like, why not take a look at Guardians and just make the fucking Suicide Squad game a little bit of the same and build on what Guardians did? Like, it's my brain.
Yeah,
like, Guardians is one, and not Guardians. Suicide Squad is one of the worst designed games I've seen in a while. Like, there's so much counterintuitive design, and then you for example, the other thing is, like, the world is completely barren and empty. Like, you have all these nice high buildings, like, but what is there to do? Nothing. Like, you can't even go into these buildings. You can't do shit in there.
And we got Ivan that says Fallout London mod had 500,000+ downloads in the first week. They should get their own indie studio and start up and make their real games to show it is entertaining. You know, a lot of the silent heroes are your modders. I mean, a lot of people. So this is an indie studio that floundered around and fell on their own nuts. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that will, how do I want to put this? Sweet for them. And it was the Fun Pimps. It was 7 Days to Die. Game that took over 10 years to come out, and they kept rechanging the original because they wanted you to play how they wanted you to play, not how you played. So they kept changing and going back to formula instead of progressing the game and getting out bandits and getting out better improvements to the performance and everything. So they come out with 1.0 because they wanted to get more money and also start publicizing their new game, which is literally using the same assets from 7 Days to Die to make a Dead by Daylight kind of type survivor game. And in my opinion, it was a bad show, but there's a lot of people that swept for them, especially influencers and creators that just were not brave enough because they were afraid of losing their bread and butter with that company to say, you know, maybe you guys should have done it this way. Maybe you guys should have done it this way. And the real heroes that kept that game alive with 7 Days to Die was the modders. Kane, yep. Subquake, Guppy. All those guys were the ones that came out. Because you can only play 1.0 or Alpha 21 or whatever for so long before it starts getting repetitive and boring. And then you get, next thing you know, the modders come out and they've revitalized the game. And that was what happened with Alpha 21. A lot of those creators that you see out there hid, and like they played it for a little bit and then they ran and did the mods. And of course, in the content creation guidelines that they have, if you want to be in the creator program, you have to play vanilla. And you can still do modded series, but you have to play a lot of vanilla. I think that was stupid. I mean, it's smart on their part, but it's also stupid because that means you are admitting that, in my opinion, the modders made your game.
I prefer to play Strawberry. Just saying.
And and like for Project Zomboid, yes, it's taken well over a year. That's another game that I'm concerned with. That was an indie studio. It's taken them a long time to get Alpha 42 out, and their updates are getting slower and slower. Granted, they're trying to go big on this next update, which is a lot of overhauls and engine changes and stuff. But it's still a fun game. The mods add to the game. It doesn't really change the gameplay. It just adds to it. Whereas in like Kane's, it would revamp on the mechanics on how you would do that. Or Subquake would turn into basically like a Fallout style 7 Days to Die. So, you know, each has their own issues, but modders are the unsung heroes for a lot of the gaming industry. And a lot of them do deserve their own shot at the indie studios. But software costs aren't cheap. I mean, if you're going to do it with the Unreal Engine or you're going to go with the Unity engine, you know, you're paying quite a bit of money right off the start just to start that. So, I mean, it's not easy.
Nope.
And let's see, and make sure I cover everything. Yeah, like I said, Gotham Knights, I did enjoy watching Gaki and Chaos play that together. So yeah, you guys should watch that if you haven't. It was good just to be able to see that playthrough. Let's see. Okay,
not a big fan of Gotham Knights.
I liked the Arkham series more than anything. I liked the best one I liked was Arkham Asylum. And that one was fun.
That was the best one.
Yeah.
I mean, I even like the third Batman game already fell apart for me because they were like when it came to their story is kind of questionable, because I remember specifically the promo material talking about the third part in the Batman series. Oh yeah, we are going to do a story that's never been done before with Batman, except they already fucking did it, you assholes.
Yep.
And Spectre says 7 Days to Die is a much different game than others. Yes, TFP made mistakes, but having a completely destructible, buildable open world is amazing. Yeah, I do agree with that. And that's hard to replicate. I mean, and that's all based on your limitations of your engine, too. I mean, like Soul Mask, Arc, all those that are built in different engines, you can't dig down into the ground. You can't dig into the terrain. You can't terraform it to build. No Man's Sky, you can terraform and rebuild stuff, but you have some invasion type stuff, but you don't have near the thing like 7 Days to Die. So everything has its own little niche, I think, in my opinion, which is nice. But at the end of the day, the console port crash was not the fault of TFP. I don't blame it on the consoles. That was a whole different company that took the reins on that with the whole Alpha 15 and then going broke and all that crap. I don't fault them on that at all. what I do fault them on is constantly changing the formula. So they didn't like the skill base, do as you learn as you're doing. So they went by the book system. So, I mean, there's different things that can fluctuate and change that whole dynamics.
Yes,
but to go
absolutely.
back to what we're talking about, Nate Shot is absolutely incorrect in my opinion. I don't think any of us want to see all of them go broke. Now, some people may want to see EA and Ubisoft and all of them go broke or split up. Maybe that's because they're too big to fail or whatever. But I just want them to learn. I just want them to understand.
Yep.
Just like it's like training McDonald's. Right now, McDonald's has those overpriced products. And now all these other companies are coming out with the $5 menus and stuff. And yet McDonald's is like, well, we're going to do it for 1 month.
Overpriced products?
Yeah.
What are you talking about, overpriced products? I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, it's literally, look at what consumers done. They're trying to train McDonald's to do better. It's the consumer thing. That's
the thing.
That's what you're trying to do.
I don't want EA or Ubisoft or any of them. I don't want them to disappear. I don't want them to go away. I want them to be better.
Yeah,
I want them to learn to be better. Listen to your gaming audience. Like,
yeah. And that even goes with indie studios too. Be better. That's all.
Yep.
Here's the thing, and that's why I'm probably the most shaded in this group. I don't see them doing better like anytime soon at all, ever. But it would be nice if they would just do better and like fund a few more, like, let's put it that way, vanity projects or projects that are not set to make all the money in the world. That would be kind of cool, because that's how we got some real classics in the past. And now it's just like safe, focus tested, live service slop. Like
the live service slop is on my
in-between
nerves too. Or
anymore.
The live service slop is, it's two prongs on that, in my opinion. First of all, no game should have a live service unless you're going to play online with your friends. As far as you set your own live service, like 7 Days to Die, I can go host my own server, or Project Zomboid, I can go host my own server. I consider that a live service that I can do on my own. One game that I just totally tossed in the trash, I was going to pick it up, which was Nightingale. Nightingale at first said, oh, you have to constantly be online, or you have to play on our servers, or all that. So I was like, file 13. I don't want to do that. I want to play on my own servers. I want to do my own content creation on my own servers. I want to have fun with my friends, not play those. And the live service thing is just a lazy man's way of saying, oh, we can half-assed updates. We can launch a game that's really crappy, and then over the next 10 months, we'll keep updating patches that'll break the game or fix the game, break the game. How about you just get a good, near completed game at the beginning? I remember when StarCraft came out, when they would have updates here and there, but it wasn't a big deal. That was like, oh, unless it was like crucial in breaking the game, which, by the way, a lot of the stuff didn't happen back in the day. A lot of it was more complete because they had quality assurance. That was a big thing in the gaming world. We don't have that anymore.
Yeah, but this is we don't have that anymore because the issue is with technological progress. We had easier ways, or we had found easier ways to patch things, because there's no game at this stage that doesn't come with a huge day one patch from a AAA company, right? And that is a big issue, because you, in the PS2 days, your game had to work. Like, you had a complete and utter fucking mess at your hand if the game was unplayable.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's why you tested it really well. That's why they came out relatively bug free.
So I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, because I don't know anything about it, but just plays devil advocate. The content creator community nearly killed Bungie with Destiny 2 years ago. What happened? I don't know anything about this story.
I don't remember that story at all.
I played Destiny when it was with Blizzard Activision, and I know that they broke away from them, but that's the most I know about it. Oh, and they won a lawsuit against somebody that was really being active against them on Twitter and stuff for harassment, but I don't know anything else about it.
Yeah, I do not remember that story.
Yeah, that story, I'm just not sure. That one's kind of a loss on me.
There. Players wanted certain changes to mods and loot.
Oh, that's okay. I will say that much, Spectre, based on what you said there. I have an issue with that too with content creators. Content creators tried to be the end all be all. We're not the end all be all. And you are right. The Asmongold's of the world, the Kai Cenats, I'm trying to think of all the big ones out there. Dr. Disrespect. Oh, maybe I don't even know if he's relevant anymore. I don't even know. All these big creators, just the point, the ones that have millions and millions of people that follow, and people sit there and watch him just literally play a game and not talk to the audience or anything, like, you know, how I'm talking with you guys and stuff, because you guys are part of this community. You guys are part of the stream. You are part of the news show. That's something that I value with that. Yeah, if a community or a game company listens to just an influencer, that's bad. That's really, really, really bad. I haven't seen that with Manor Lords. I know there's a couple content creators that are helping Greg test stuff in the beta patches and stuff and tossing in feedback there and helping him behind the scenes, but I think he listens to the community as a whole, not just the content creators. And yeah, that's a slippery slope when they focus on the content creators. And that's why I don't like just these player clubs, as I want to call it, that all these companies are doing with their content creators, where you have to have X amount of subs, X amount of this. And Spectre says they wanted to make changes to make their streams more relevant, not for the player base. And see, that is the danger there. They can't do that. You have to look at the whole of what your community is saying. Just like, that's why the forums are more important than, let's say, some guy with 1 million subs or a guy that has 100,000 people watching. Yeah, his opinion may not be the thing. I mean, there's plenty of takes that a lot of these creators make that are, you know, L's. You know, they're not relevant on that part, or they're asked on subjects that they don't understand about. Like me, I cover the news, I talk about stuff, but if you're gonna like ask me about Destiny 2, unless I know about it, I'm not going to input on it. If you're asking me about a first-person shooter, most of the time I'm going to say I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. But if you ask me the things I'd like to see in like Crusader Kings 3 or Project Zomboid or stuff, because I've been playing it so much, but that's my opinion. I don't want them to change it based on just my opinion. I want to see what the community as a whole wants, because the big thing is you want what the community, because you want that money. You want the biggest bang for your buck. A content creator is just an advertiser for your game for the most part. If you're playing a game, if you're promoting the game, doing let's plays, showing that stuff, or just, you know, chilling. Like say if we all were playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles right now on stream, we're just chilling, vibing, talking with you guys, talking about issues while we're playing the game. I don't want anything changed in that game. I don't want nothing different. I just want to play something that everybody will enjoy. And
so there's a huge difference. There's a huge difference in what you do, Kai, and what everybody else does as far as the games on YouTube. Like, you're doing this community, like take Zomboid and stuff, when it's you and Ruggles and poor Diane, who apparently can never eat enough in that game. When it's you guys doing that game, you're interacting with the community, you're doing role playing with that game, you're doing this, you're doing that. You take something like TMNT, which is fine, you can do the same thing. But some of the other gamers out there might want to do not necessarily a strategy guide, but like do full playthroughs of it where it's just them doing the playthrough of the game and then the audience watches it afterwards. There's a huge difference in replay watch and live watch kind of stuff, and it just depends on what you as a YouTube viewer want to watch. And I don't know, it's all kinds of crazy and just ugh. I blame Hollywood.
And Benji felt the play with fire and get burnt. FAFO. It cost them money and they eventually did change. Yeah. And that's why you can't rely on just content creator. The content creator is not the end all be all. They don't understand entirely the game or everything. It, like, for example, I say Survivor games, I like seeing Install Mask, NPCs that do stuff for you, people that help build the city, people that, you're building a Survivor, you're building civilization up. Hell, even Conan Exiles is getting ready to do an update where the thralls finally start acting like NPCs that walk around, go to the tavern and eat, they drink, they do their own daily life. So you can make a city now that looks like a living, breathing town with sieges and stuff. I like that concept. I like seeing things like this. When I play a game or survival, for example, I like seeing that living, breathing world, not just static NPCs and stuff. And so, in my opinion, that's something that I like seeing. Some people may not like seeing NPCs. Some people may have liked Fallout 76 with not a single NPC and it was empty and barren and they just did whatever. Everybody has their own quirks, but you got to figure out what the community as a whole wants.
Yep.
And so that makes it a little difficult sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Also, I wanted to say congratulations to Dorksaurus on his breaking. What I think you're at. How many subs are you up to now? Work? Aren't you at 1,300?
1,200.
You're 1,200.
It's slowed considerably down.
So
but it's fine.
Big congratulations to my brother here, and
thank you.
Also, how close are you getting monetized? The full one? I figured you had the watch hours by now. Or did you fully get monetized?
No, it's still I'm still missing like 800 watch hours, I think.
Well, if you guys like seeing some of the very interesting games out there, I'm just going to put interesting. Definitely check out the Dorksaurus' channel. He is an awesome VTuber and content creator. It's an honor to always have as my co-host on Saturdays. And just like it's always an honor to have Mike as my co-host on Wednesdays. So I kind of wanted to talk about that. And so Orcosaurus has been very brave. But then again, he's always been brave. It's a lot of YouTubers, it seems like nowadays, just don't associate much with what they call flesh tubers or stuff, like, but I guess they're not without their own drama sometimes. And it's interesting to see, because I've been following VTuber stuff lately, and it's just like, holy crap, I thought our critter neck of the woods was bad. And
it's all bad all around.
Give Orcosaurus the link to his channel. All right, let me pull that up while I do it. So Orc, so somebody that is a veteran VTuber like yourself,
yeah,
and kind of, I'm curious to learn more about, because everybody always sees the joy side of VTubing. They don't see the dark side of VTubing.
Yeah, the thing about VTubing is, and this is like something that I've been talking about, like a little bit more behind the scenes, but in general, a lot of VTubers or not a lot of them, but you have to be much more careful than with Flash people, I feel like. That's because you hide behind an avatar, and it gives you more like anonymity.
Mhm.
And that's why you need to be so much more careful, because some VTubers are really evil backstabbers. And it's not all sunshine and rainbows. And there's a subset, especially on Twitch, that is like extra toxic. Not just the toxicity that you're used from those normal streamers and those bats. Like there's legit like attempts at ruining other people's lives a lot more than on normal, let's say, Flash people. And it's one thing that like drove me away from Twitch when I saw that go down. And I'm just, here's the thing. Like for me personally, I like to vibe out in my little corner of the internet, because I'm just, just want to vibe and like play my furry games and have just fun, and maybe play a horror game here and there and make silly videos, and that's all I ever need. And I don't want any drama with anyone. Of course, there's like people where I say I don't really like them, but like I'm just trying to like not get engaged too much in that kind of stuff. And I feel like a lot of VTubers engage in drama, so they get more clout and then try to climb up the ladder. And that's just not how I work.
And I agree with you on that. I mean, we see a lot of drama in the Flash tuber sphere. I mean, we've been seeing a lot of content creators destroying their careers, and some of them recovering, some of them having sniffing issues.
When you said destroying their careers, my first thought was, well, they don't destroy them; they sabotage them.
Well, it's self-destruction, because they get the whole rock star mentality. True. So they end up coming back with a white nose.
Yeah, I think the big thing with VTubers is it's more minutia, it's more petty drama too. Like it's just, I don't know, it's like a lot of shit is just petty too in there. Like it's not the big thing where like a lawyer gets outed for like having an issue with like dust going up his nose,
we keep
like,
that subtle handsome.
Or somebody like inappropriately messaging people, then saying like on Twitter, yeah, I did that, and then deleting it afterwards.
Yeah.
Or selling cookies for like 200% up mark. It's
I know who that one is too, sadly.
Yeah, it's like you know
or,
exactly
or
who
faking
I talk
cancer for like 2-3 years, just to, and then scamming your audience with cryptocurrency scams.
Oh my god!
I mean,
drama is everywhere, folks.
Yeah, it's everywhere. But like in the VTuber spheres, like it's more like, oh my god, this guy said something about this and that, and oh my god, he, I don't know, said something that could be construed as like phobic or isms, and I'm just like, people, please, like, we are all just like, I just don't want anything to do with that. It's so, I'm just like I still say it. Like I still say it. Say it again. You know what the difference is between YouTube and Twitch?
Twitch allows more porn on their site,
No.
apparently.
No. Just philosophically speaking.
Oh, okay. The big creators don't get in trouble for anything there.
They get in trouble, but if you like, you have to look at Twitch as like a vast interconnected city, and basically everyone knows everyone, right?
No, that's true.
And YouTube is more a, like, let's say an island, a nation comprised of small and larger islands, like YouTube channels.
Oh
And
yeah, kind of like how I drew a chain and pulled your island over next to mine. So we're like borders now.
yeah, something like that. But like in the end, you're on your own small pocket.
Yeah.
Right. And if you stay on your small pocket, no one will ever come to your small pocket and do anything.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't even know that you exist.
That's true.
But
Because I mean,
on Twitch, it's like I heard from someone that heard from someone that heard from someone that you existed and said something bad. You know,
it's Twitch is essentially the old call list that we all used to have, that our parents and grandparents used to have. Somebody's in the hospital. If somebody's here, we have to, you designate certain person in the family. You have to do this. So if Mikey's in the hospital for 3 weeks, you have to call 27 family members and let them all know. So you call one, and then they'll call 7 others, and then they'll call 7 others, and then it's a whole connected tissue thing. Whereas YouTube, we're island hopping. Which, please,
and it seems
nobody go to those 7 islands.
And you're absolutely correct on that. I mean, all jokes aside about pulling your island over here, but yeah, that's still kind of true. As a small creator or even a large creator, I have the people that I work with closely, that I guess that I've built friendships on with. Captain Ruggles, Orc, Mike. I know you don't have a YouTube channel, but like yourself,
I do,
with
but I don't do anything with it.
Chaos as well. I mean, there's a lot of people that are basically, I've thrown chains around their island, pulled them all over, and we have our own little mini multi-state country or whatever there. But we all have our own lanes. We don't bother anybody.
Not everyone does the same thing.
But on Twitch, it seems like it's the rumor mill 24/7. Like the one that I was trying to follow on a little bit is the cancellation, deletion of a YouTube channel and banning and stuff of somebody that got accused of something that wasn't true. People capitalized on this, and then their career's been pretty much destroyed. And I guess there's a lot of bitterness and vitriol that over there, where a lot of YouTubers just shove knives in each other's backs now, which is sad, because it used to be, hey, let's work together and build something. Now it's, hey, we're just gonna stack all the corpses right on top of each other and walk on by. It's like that, just to get ahead. And it's sad.
The big issue on that is like a lot of people, especially in the VTuber space, see there is too many, and they obviously want to get ahead. Despite actually content creators are, or the people who want to create content are on the line, because it's not as lucrative anymore as it used to be. But they still see each other. I mean, they will lie to your face. They will say, "Oh yeah, we are colleagues. We are all in this," and blah 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 and whatnot. But in reality, they just see you as competition and just want you to gone. So they potentially have more eyes on themselves. And this is also true for normal people, obviously. But I feel like it's a little bit more prevalent in the VTuber space. And then you have other drama too, like with potential agencies and whatnot, VTuber agencies.
Yeah,
that's also another factor that comes on top. And
Sanji is the first one I think of with that, because man, that was hitting the headline news on YouTube for 6 months, 7 months, or That's all you see on my feed when I was looking at all that was that company. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Nietzsche-san, she's like the worst.
And I was just like, wow, this was not on my bingo list. See all this, but it's strange because you are absolutely correct. But you know, I've built a lot of great creator friends over the time, as in, we built this lasting friendship that I hope we have many great years together, or till we all grow old and it's all she wrote.
Die and
run
away.
And to me, competition isn't always a bad thing, but a lot of people take it as, I want to take your viewers, or you want to take my viewers, or all that. And the space is big enough for everybody. And that's the scary part, because a long time ago, before this gentleman decided to have powder nose and everything, there was one comment that he always said that was true. LawTube was the thing. Don't you get upset with all these people coming on each other's shows or all that? And the thing was, no. And you shouldn't be, because we're all part of the sphere together. We should all work together. But we should always strive to push each other to do better content for our audiences together. We should always come up with new ways to push it so people can see our content and get it visibly out there. Because if we continue to push each other to do better, then that means we all grow. And that was something that's what, to me, competition should be like, is we're pushing each other to do better, to grow together, to try new things, to better our channels and stuff like that. Competition just to be cutthroat is unhealthy, and it destroys communities.
Yeah, it does.
Like, I see, like this one that I saw that I asked you about earlier, Orc, because I've been completely out of the loop, but that's been hitting my feed now too, nonstop, is someone that was falsely accused of doing some stuff that wasn't true, but these VTubers completely wrecked this person's life.
Yeah, but this is one of the issues that is prevalent in all spaces. It's like false accusation, and people just taking it at face value and run with it.
And that's the big problem with cancel culture too. There's no consequences when you falsely cancel somebody. I mean, you can get lawyers, but half the time, what are you going to do? Sue everybody on the internet?
Yes, you should. You should actually set a precedent. I know it will never happen.
Well, the only one I know that could do that with the amount of money they have would be like Mr. Beast. He just start handing out lawsuits. You get a lawsuit. You get a lawsuit. You get a lawsuit. Because he's the only one I know that has money to do it. So
I mean, of course, Beast, and this is something where everyone is like, is making a surprise Pikachu face. But of course, Beast will try to protect his brand.
Yeah.
Because he can. And it's insane to me that like people expect somebody like Mr. Beast to even answer to these allegations that are out there.
Yeah.
Like he won't. He will maybe, if things are getting too hot, put out a statement via his like lawyers or via his, I don't know, agency or whatever. But like he's doing like okay, so look, I don't like Sunny V2 or his content, yeah, but he said one thing that is very true. Like if you have a controversy on your hand, do not respond ever.
Yeah. Just
don't respond, because there's going to be a bigger controversy just around the corner and everyone will forget about you.
Yeah, they're always the only thing that you. I was gonna say, think of the progression of this year of just everything.
Yeah. The only thing that you need to keep in mind, there will be still people, even if the bigger controversy comes around the corner, that will be after you. they will just try to rattle your cage. You have to be able to ignore this, right? You just have to be able to ignore this, and that's the big thing. And if you can't do that, if you can hide behind this stuff, then you're golden. You're set, because nobody ever will get to you. And that's the big part.
Still out of sync sometimes with you, Orc, because sometimes I think you're stopping because your avatar goes back. I try to interject, but
yeah,
that's the habit I'm still trying to get used to. Because like I can see Mike, so it's a lot easier to know, but still getting used to that. Oh, thanks, Mike.
You can't.
Okay, John Cena. Okay. You probably messed up your mic. Oh no, you didn't. Okay, good. Okay.
No, I didn't. There's a privacy cover on the new camera, so.
And Orc, you're absolutely right. I mean, Mr. Beast, for example, with all these allegations, whether it's true or not, I have my own opinions, just like you have your own opinions. I think he's done it the smartest way you could. Don't say anything. If you need to, bring out lawyers and just drop stuff, because look at Dr. Disrespect. He dropped some, says, well, yeah, I did this, but he didn't bring the full context there. I don't know, because once he dropped that, then people were like, so you only knew about this, you knew this, and it's like, that was probably the dumbest thing he could have done. He should have probably got lawyers. But
I think Disrespect should have never ever even addressed this. But Disrespect is like the character or the person who needs to do it. Like, can't leave that alone.
Yeah.
We saw that with other drama in the past, and I think he also doesn't like have a very good PR team, because they should have just told him to shut his mouth.
They really should have.
And just to ignore it, because here's the thing, like, everyone, and this is the crazy part to me, everyone called this guy who broke it first a cloud chaser and a fucking cloud goblin.
And they should have left it at that.
Yeah, exactly, and they should have left it at that. What Disrespect did, yeah, is completely indefensible. I don't want to defend him here at all. I need to make this clear, right?
I'm not defending him either.
No. I know you aren't, but like, if you have to be careful on the internet. People like to tell or take shit out of context, and then you're suddenly a Dr. Disrespect supporter or something. I'm not. I'm also not a Mr. Beast supporter, but I want to see where this is going, right? Because also the allegations against Beast are fairly grim, but just so people understand who are watching this, we are just talking about the reactions, what you should do and what not. And I think Disrespect handled it in the worst way possible. He thought if he admitted to what he did, shit goes away. No, it got even worse for him. It got like 1000% worse. But he's also not the guy who can shut his mouth. Not as a character, as Dr. Disrespect, and not as Skybeam. They both needed to shut their fucking mouth, and they didn't. And that's why where he is at the moment.
And I'm going to address I'm just typing this, but Spectre says, it's universal when you hit a certain subscriber base, you lose your morals. No, what happens is there's some people become rock stars mentality. It happens to a lot of people that get too big and they don't know how to deal with it. Then they end up diving into polycules and drug parties and alcoholism and all this stuff. And this was an interesting thing. Some of those that know me, I'm a big fan of Alice Cooper, and they talked about the 70s and 80s where rock stars died young and left a pretty little corpse because they did all that alcoholism and they did the drugs and they got too big and they couldn't handle it. And they let it all go to their heads. And the biggest problem with that is you got to find yourself. Alice Cooper's is a redemption story as well. He was part of that. And then I'm not going to go religion here, but he found God and he realized, my God, this is going to be me. I'm going to be one of those guys that die. And you can find his interview out there. There's been several interviews about it. And now he helps other musicians and stuff try to break their habits and stuff and help them find, it's the thing is, you have to also want to get help. Mm-hmm. If you have narcissism and you think you don't have a problem, you're going to run into this problem. You're going to struggle with it.
A narcissist will never see himself as the issue. That's the problem with narcissism.
Well, I agree, but we both know a mutual somebody that for the last year and a half, everybody's watched him fall apart, and people kept saying, dude, you gotta stop drinking. Then they found out then they suspect he was doing drugs and all this stuff. And then completely had that one disastrous stream that changed everything. And, then they got in trouble with the law and everything else. And it's the thing about it is that's where you end up falling too far. Or
here's the thing. I think that Luminessa is partially right when she says that humans will do human things and their morals are the same going into and coming out of it. I will say this. I think there's some people who will have the same morals going in and out, but I also think that morals change. And I also think that people change. If you get successful in this capacity, like there's streamers out there and YouTubers, they accumulate way bigger numbers than any traditional television ever could. Like just look at a Mr. Beast video, since we have him, yeah? He is getting more views than anything on TV.
Yeah. It really is.
It will change you. It will change you in some capacity. It will just change you. You will not be the same person. I do think that Beast already had a propensity for being a little bit of a shithead, because we know now that he ran illegal lotteries, like way back even. And it's documented, but yeah, I do think the more successful you get, the more you have to keep yourself in line to not go overboard.
And
yep.
Well, in that approach, it's not just getting successful. Think of it. You win 100, let's say 100 million on the lottery, or even $1 billion playing lottery. People go into this whole rock star mentality, or they go on a spending spree and then they're broke within 2-3 years, and then they don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts with your own habits. For me, I'm a very frugal and tight asshole when it comes to my money. I don't spend it unless I have my back against the wall and I have no choice, because money's hard to come by. If I had, and I would carry that, and maybe it's part of the reason why I do accounting too. Maybe that's part of it, but I, for myself, think that if you got that successful or not, what you see here is what you're going to get. I mean, just gives me more resources to improve the show. But there's others out there. And maybe, and this is one thing, and it's hard to say this and admit this, but maybe the guy that I respected for a long time and got me kind of in the creator sphere wasn't the guy I really thought he was. And it was all just a facade. And that could very well be. I mean, there was already the narcissism there but you add on the drugs and the alcohol and everything, you know.
That just ratchets that up to past 10.
And I
When you
think
add in
that's
substance abuse.
and I think, and then just not men, they have a problem and everybody's trying to help the person, you know. Maybe that, and the sad reality is, you know, you didn't know them at all. They put on a good performance for years and you got bamboozled.
I mean, a lot of people, or I would even claim everyone, is kind of different from how they are in real life on the internet anyways. It just depends how different are you really. I will say that I've watched the person you're referring to also a long time. I kind of lost track of them, like when Rittenhouse happened, but and didn't really watch them afterwards. But I will say they always been like a little bit egotistical and thought they were in the right. Like never admit a mistake, never like make or even retract a statement. At least it's not something I remember. And yeah, like the small kind of like breadcrumbs were there, but it wasn't as prevalent as it is now. And as you said, I think the alcohol, the drugs, and the success made it infinitely worse.
Oh yeah, I remember their channel. I first found them when they only had 40,000, and then they got up to about 100,000 or so with the Vic Mignogna stuff. Then they exploded with the Johnny Depp and the Rittenhouse trials. Those two just turned him into sensational overnight. He was on magazines, newspapers. He even had a Netflix section about him on one of the Depp documentaries, I think it was, and stuff. And maybe that success went too fast. And
it was
maybe couldn't handle it, because you go from, and the worst part of it, you're doing something you don't like. And I think that was the thing too. They covered the trials, but they said later they hate doing trials, and they complained about them. But the trials is what made them money and started the whole thing where lawyers will watch these trials now live, and they will discuss it, and they'll talk about it while they're live there. And you know, that was something groundbreaking for a lot of people.
I mean, they had like also like almost all of LawTube on these panels when Rittenhouse happened. Like everyone was there, everyone. Like even people that didn't align with him like at all, political or like in that stuff. And yeah, it's yeah.
Whereas me, if I didn't like doing something, I'm not going to do it just for the fame.
Same.
I won't do it. I just won't. That's why I don't want to, you know, I've seen channels explode overnight where they're super popular because they're a drama channel. I don't want to do drama. I mean, I'll talk about news, I'll talk about stuff like this, but I'm not going to start attacking channels. I'm not going to start going after people. I don't do that. I don't care. I'm not Keemstar. I'm not any of those guys that made their millions by doing that. I don't want to. I don't care to. It's petty. I know drama sells and people love drama, but there's other ways to do it. You know, in that Behind the Dragon video that I recorded today, because I'm going to put it on here. The biggest problem that I have is there's enough negativity and a lot of awful shit out there. We're dealing with inflation. We're dealing with election where most people are freaking terrified of whoever is going to win the election. It don't matter which side you're on. It matters like, oh my God, this could be the end. Everybody's feeling this way. They're, you know, the high prices, the crime rates, everything's getting to everybody. Hell, when I had my car stolen, it took me a long time to get over it because I was angry. I had anger for months. No, well, a month and a half. I finally got over it because I never felt this. Who would have thought that this was going to happen to you? All you do is work, go home, pay taxes, and go get on the computer and do another job. You know, so the negativity gets to be too much sometimes. And I would rather, still talk about these issues like we're doing tonight, but also make you guys laugh, entertain you, say, silly things to make people laugh or whatever. Or say something stupid and have a Freudian slip like I did earlier, which damn near killed Mike, because...
You have no idea.
Oh, yeah, I know. It was the worst Freudian slip.
No. You have no idea. Okay, so you want to talk about everybody being famous and blah, 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 and all this and all that? The first thing I'm doing after this stream is I'm queuing up that timestamp and I'm making a YouTube clip of it.
Oh, I hate you. I hate you. Yeah.
Hey, but at least it'll bring you more. Oh, here we go. 2KAY.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think this Saturday was going to be this good, but damn.
Yeah, I know. It's interesting, I don't even know why that came up. It was a slip of the tongue, just instead of saying
we were talking about the various studios and whatever else, and maybe 2K Sports or 2K whatever had some controversy or whatever. That we were talking about the studios and the controversies and the things that they shouldn't do, and you started to say that, and then I just lost my shit.
Well, yeah, I realized that. It's funny because I realized I know what I did. I tried to say 2 games, and it should have been 2K games and not. Yeah, I know, and I broke you. Yeah, but
I haven't laughed that much in a long time.
Well, you're welcome. Because you know what, I'm not infallible either. I slip up and say stuff just because of Freudian slip. Twisted tongue.
You wouldn't believe half the crap I have to edit from myself out of podcasts, some of the shit that I say.
Dude, so I got some of your best clips. Like, my favorite one is still, hold on, let me get a fucking... I don't hear you swear, buddy. I don't hear you swear. And that was amazing.
But okay, so, do you still have it?
No, I got rid of it at your request.
Oh. Okay. All right. Well, what he's talking about, folks, for those who are watching and whatever, and I'm not looking at the YouTube, so I don't know who all's in the chat, but there was a moment a number of years ago. We were doing, was it Superman? Was it all? Yeah, it was the DC Universe original animated movies, All-Star Superman. And this was on Tooncast Beyond, which is our cartoon podcast over at Geekcast Radio Network. And I understand that there's source material to these things, these animated features that DC does and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But my main focus in covering the cartoon, film, animated movie, whatever you want to call it, is the film first, and we can then talk about the source material afterwards. So one of the guys that was on there, he asked me a question, and instead of letting me answer the question, he kept going and going and going, and it got me so damn mad. I don't know if Chaos is still watching. If she is, hi Chaos. But she knows, and you guys have seen it on stream, like when my face gets red and stuff, whether I'm laughing or dying or crying or angry or whatever, literally my face was about as ripe as one of your tomatoes that's in your garden right now that night, and it was just audio, dude. We weren't even doing this. No one could see me. We weren't doing any of the video stuff back then. We don't do it now because I prefer audio. But it's one of those things where I'm just sitting there, I'm physically shaking, and I'm trying my best not to lose with this guy, and he just wouldn't let me answer the question. And that's where that clip came from, where I basically lose my shit. And yeah, I curse. I don't curse all the time, but I curse. And mainly it's if I'm angry, and I try my best. Like, ever since then, and ever since other things have happened since then, it's like you said earlier, being angry and being negative, yes, there is a place for that on these video platforms, whether it's YouTube, Twitch, whatever. But like, that's too much. That takes too much energy. I would rather go on and sit here and rant and rave about how I am very much looking forward to Funko Fusion coming September 13th of this year, versus going on a tirade about why I can't stand the fact that Ram thinks Die Hard is a Christmas movie when we all know it's not.
But you know, that is an eternal debate. I did look that up. That hasn't been a debate going on. Just like, is pineapple supposed to be on pizza? That's another debate.
No, pineapple. Okay, I understand sweet and savory for things. I get that that's why people think pineapple should be on pizza.
I'm trying to find that.
What?
I'm trying to find your shout, but
no,
I can't find it. It's
fine.
fallen off the earth, because you know,
fine.
I respect your request when you say don't hey, pull it off. So,
well, Brad probably still has it, but he's over in general.
Yeah,
but you know,
I can't find it. Yep.
But the point is that basically what I said was, you know, I was literally sitting here. I'm gonna fake shake it, but I was literally doing this, like, could not stop shaking. I was so angry, and I just went off on the dude, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like,
no, it was better. Oh, no, hold on. Would you just shut the fuck up for a fucking minute? I was like, God damn.
Let me get a word in edgewise. Yeah, let me get a fucking word in edgewise. Yeah. But again, like, ever since then, I've tried my best not to do that. And like you were saying earlier, you're having to learn to, with Orc and his silences, and when he speaks, and when the avatar moves. I've been watching that the whole night to make sure I don't interrupt him.
Yeah, because you never know when he's going to light up. He's very sneaky about that. Just like we don't know if he's going to... Oh, there he is.
I'll just slide in when the time calls for it. I know exactly.
Oh my!
Exactly when to push in.
Yeah.
But no, the another Die Hard Christmas movie, but have Orc star as the main character. Yes, we need to do a full animated movie with the Orcosaurus as himself in a Die Hard Christmas movie with pineapple pizza.
And technically, if I shaped this up a little more and cut it a little bit, I could probably be Hans Gruber. I mean, I'm fatter than he ever was.
So, or
but that's
pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
There is a dedicated menu item on every pizzeria here in Germany. It's called Hawaiian pizza, and it's always ham and pineapple. So I guess from a German perspective, yes. If you ask my teacher that I had at language school who taught me Italian, we Germans should all burn at the fucking cross. So ask your two opinions about that.
So I got a question for you. At work, we were talking about that because Mom baked pizza the other day while I was at work, because she's like, hey, a surprise. She did one that was pineapple and ham, and the other one was pepperoni with our Roma tomatoes with basil on and stuff. It was really good. I told my boss, said, you want me to bring you any back? And oh, you're fine, Spectre. You're fine on that. See, this is also why the chat's handy there for, because you guys can talk around me and stuff and go back and forth. That's fine. But anyway,
yeah,
my boss goes, well, I'm surprised you haven't had sauerkraut pizza. And I said, what? And he says, no, they call it German pie. So I have to ask you, Orc, as a native of Germany, is this really true? Oh, look at him. He's hiding now.
I will say this. Your boss is full of shit. There's I've never seen anyone put sauerkraut on pizza over here.
I was like, I love sauerkraut,
God.
but that just sounds bad. Even somebody that loves sauerkraut, I'm like,
it is fucking bad, dude. Like what do? You eat sauerkraut with either like a meat roast or with Topfnudeln. I have no clue what the English word for that is. But you don't eat sauerkraut on fucking pizza.
I can see it like with beer ox. I can see it with
or
a sausage or hot dogs or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
one thing I could imagine that could work is sauerkraut on a on a tart flambe is I think the English word. That could fucking work because it's made of curd and
Birds and whey.
bacon. That was what I was
bacon.
looking for.
Bacon.
And that could kind of work, but like tomatoes and sauerkraut doesn't mix. It's like, nah.
oh
Nah.
my god, it is a recipe.
Don't you dare put it on the screen. I will come through your screen and just choke.
Holy
I would
crap! I
choke-
just had to look it up. It is an actual recipe. Sauerkraut and sausage pizza.
Oh yeah, that's been a thing forever. Yes, that has been a thing forever. But again, my problem
Who the
with
hell puts
pineapple
sauerkraut on pizza?
Well, I mean, you're or
Nobody
in Germany,
puts
you're out
sauerkraut
in
on fucking
you're out in
pizza.
the middle of Kansas. It's a form of sausage. I know that off the top of my head, but I have never. I grew up in Boston. I grew up in New England. They have linguiça up there.
Mm-hmm.
I can handle regular sausage. I cannot handle linguiça. It is just god awful. But yeah, sausage and sauerkraut has always been a thing on pizza. Because you have the sausage, you have the sauerkraut, you have the cheese and the bread. Yep.
Yeah, but
I've heard of that
here's the thing. But if I look this up and like look at these recipes that I get here, it's not really pizza. They don't even use like tomato sauce.
Yeah, when I think of pizza, it's tomatoes.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
When I think of pizza, you got to have tomato sauce on the pizza. I know people put Alfredo and crap on it.
What they use instead is like, I don't know, sour cream, curd, stuff like that instead of the tomato sauce, and then it works. But strictly speaking, this is not a fucking pizza. This is something else. You need a tomato sauce for pizza. Everything else is not pizza. That is simply not true. Are you fucking mad people trying to kill my poor Italian teacher?
Okay, so here's the thing. I generally agree, for the most part, with you need the tomato sauce for it to be a pizza. However, when you use if you're gonna do chicken bacon ranch and you use ranch as the sauce part,
that don't even belong. That don't even belong on pizza. No. It's always pasta sauce, pizza sauce.
I see where you're coming from, Mike, but no.
See, you're overruled here. And Spectre says bacon makes everything better. And Luna says we're going to find Orc's secret recipe blog, and sauerkraut pizza will be there. Just watch. Probably is. In Taiwan, they have bubble tea pizza and stinky tofu pizza.
Okay. Good night, everybody. I call it a stinky tofu. See ya.
Stinky tofu is vile, dude. Like 100%.
I love that we
Ivan
devolved
says,
from all the gaming crap into food reviews.
Ivan says, look at that Taiwan Pizza Hut, bubble tea pizza and stinky tofu pizza. Oh no!
Oh, I 100% believe you, Ivan. But
No.
Stinky tofu is still fucking vile, and there's nothing on this planet that will convince me otherwise.
Is Loot Fist Pizza next? See, this is the beautiful part of the Dragon Slayer and DGen. We talk about stuff, but then we fall in these weird topics like this pizza, which, I had to ask Orc on this because I was like, I have never heard of sauerkraut on pizza. And when I think of pizza, it is always pizza sauce, not ranch, not whatever mayonnaise, not whatever the hell you want to put on it. Pizza is bread, pizza sauce, tomato sauce, whatever you want to call it, cheese and toppings. That's pizza.
Yes. That is 100% correct. And if you put ranch on your pizza instead of tomato sauce, it's not pizza anymore. And
amen, brother.
I will not accept anything else.
Amen to that. Amen. So, I'm guessing Mike loves his ranch breadings, chicken
Not
sandwich.
really. I'm just saying if it's.
It's just like barbecue sauce on pizza.
Yeah, I agree with that one at least.
Because I see this one pizza place always puts on their pizza buffet barbecue chicken pizza, and I'm like, why? It's like, no.
Yeah.
It's always pizza sauce. And Ivan says they have durian pizza too. Stinky fruit pizza. Yes, and that's why we devolve in this fun stuff. But I know we've kept Orcsaurus, and he is ready to pass out, I'm sure, because it's, 2 in the morning for you?
I am. Completely. It's 2 in the morning. It's 2:30 in the morning. I think I need some sleep.
So everybody needs to tuck Orcasaurus in bed. Earth's dirtiest orc overlord has to go to sleep.
I definitely need a nappy poo.
All right, everybody. So I will be back on stream in maybe 30 minutes. It should be around 30 minutes for another stream. Thank you, Orcsaurus, for coming on to the DGen and Green stream. As always, it's been so much fun. And thank you, Mike, for coming on for some fun, too. The 3 of us bannering has been great. And we've talked about a lot of topics tonight. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. And hit that notification bell, because sometimes YouTube is not notifying people of the streams, which I've been noticing that lately. So I hopefully, to quote Gordon, I think I've been shadow banned. Please get it out. No. Anyway. So, yeah, we will be going to the next stream in about 30 minutes. So, thanks again, everybody, and I hope to catch you on that next stream. And I do believe we're doing more Zomboid tonight. And then I will be having a stream tomorrow night because I will be taking Thursday off next week for family-related activities. Somebody's coming in from out of town, so they want to have dinner, and I don't want to be late,
Cool.
Cancel that.
Very cool.
With that, I'll post out the schedule. Yes, I'm going to try to go back to schedule posting too. Just like Orc has his beautiful photo, I need to do mine too. So anyway, see you guys soon. Peace.
Bye.
All right.
I'm still